everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Disgustingly Resilient podcast. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking at the Detachment, the Virulent Vectorium, possibly my favourite, definitely up there with my top two, and probably what you're going to see as one of the stronger detachments in our codex, although I do think all of them are actually pretty damn good. But I think this is probably top contender at the moment, especially alongside Champions of Contagion and Mortarian's Hammer. If you do enjoy the content on the channel, please feel free to leave a like and a subscribe. Consider becoming a Plague Marine. It's $2.99 a month, less than a coffee these days, and you get access to our Discord, you get access to our giveaways, all good stuff like that. So check out the links in the description, and obviously if you want to get extra information, we did record the Masterclass of Vanguard Tactics, so if you were interested in picking that up, check out the link in the description as well, and we get a bit of kickback as well, because again, we helped them make it, which is awesome. But for now, let's get into it. So, what is Virulent Vectorium at an overview? Virulent Vectorium is a toolbox detachment, hence why it's one of my favourites. Toolbox, for those who are new, like Champions of Contagion, it gives you a little bit of everything. It doesn't scream at you, hey spam zombies, hey spam tanks. Instead it goes, here's a little bit of everything. You can support whatever you want in here. And then it's up to you as a player to make the most out of that. So it requires you to use your player skill to get the most out of it. However, Vectorium definitely leans a lot into shooting support. There's a lot more shooting support in this one as compared to Champions of Contagion Toolbox, which has more melee support in it. However, what we do have for shooting support here is incredibly powerful, as we'll get into. Now, it also brings a good amount of durability and utility stratagems, which is, you know, all around makes a great toolbox. You've got a bit of output, you've got a bit of durability, and you've got a bit of utility. Virulent Vectorium is also extremely unit inclusive. Almost any unit can work in this detachment, and that's what makes it so good. You can have a plethora of builds. Lots of things can work in this detachment, and that's what makes it also fun to play with, because you can have two players playing Virulent Vectorium and have completely different looking lists. You want to run some vehicles? Go for it. Infantry? Go for it. Want to skew more in one direction? Go for it. Mortarian? Sure. No Mortarian? Okay, no problem. It's really cool in the sense that almost anything goes in this detachment, and it's one of the reasons I love it. So first up is the Detachment Rule, World Blight. If you control an objective marker at the end of the command phase, it remains under your control even if no unit remains on it. In addition, that objective marker gains the Nurgle's Gift rule as if it was a unit from your army. So it is army-wide, sticky objectives. So if you hold it at the end of the command phase, it becomes infected, as we'll call it. And then even if you walk away and leave it, it will still remain under your control until an enemy takes it off you, which means you can walk away and keep scoring primary, which is really good. In addition, that objective marker acts as if it's a unit from your army with the Contagion rule, meaning that it will give out the aura of -1 toughness and minus whatever your extra plague that you chose. It's kind of niche when that comes up, but it can actually catch a few people by surprise, give you a little bit of extra range to catch a unit that may be rapid ingress near an objective, and it can, you know, sometimes it's helpful, but it's really, the main thing here is the sticky objective. So what makes sticky objectives good? Well, sticky objectives allow you to keep momentum in a game. In all the other detachments, to hold objectives, you're going to have to leave a unit on that objective. You're going to have to sit there all game on that objective to score primary. However, in this detachment, once your opponent's reserves have all come in, and they've got no OP Downy, for example, you have 3 to know where your opponents are at, which means you can move off your objective knowing comfortably your opponent won't be able to get to it and take it off you, providing you do relevant move blocking, charging, etc. This means you can keep pressure on your opponent even in the late game when you're running out of units, whereas they're having to, you know, dedicate the last bits of their units to hold objectives. You can commit yours to taking theirs off them, knowing that yours will be held safely by a sticky objective, which is really good. It also means Tau players absolutely hate you, because they can no longer just shoot you off an objective, because if they shoot you off an objective, but it's stickied, it's still your objective, which means now the opponent has to send units at you. They have to come and physically stand on your objectives, which is everything a Death Guard player wants. Opponent having to get close to Death Guard equals dead opponent. So really good for us. We like that. Also, the bullshit you can do with Poxwalkers, if you get first turn, you can infiltrate on all 3 middle objectives if you wanted to. And then if you get first turn, they all become sticky at the end of the first command phase, which is great. And then you can move forward, move block your opponent so they can't get to those objectives, and you nail like a 315 VP first turn whilst holding them to 0 for free. It's a bit daft, a bit silly, but obviously it is dependent on you getting first turn, so there is a risk to it, because if you get second turn, you just give up your Poxwalkers for free. But sometimes that's worth the risk for potentially just getting a free 15 on turn 2. So bear that in mind. And like I said, there is some niche jank you can do with Contagion from objectives. So you can have, for example, you hold an objective on one side, the opponent walks near the objective onto the other side, then actually not in contagion range of your unit, but they are in contagion range of the objective, which now means like you can rapid ingress 6 dash rounds 6 inches away from them, which then can block a charge, or just get in the way for an overwatch, or put extra OC on the objective, etc, etc. There is some jank. You really have to figure it out, and maybe we can do a video that looks at some of those later in time. But like I said, it's quite niche. It is quite niche. But it's a good detachment rule, really solid, and it feels really weird when you go from playing this detachment to playing a different one and forgetting you don't have sticky objectives and being like, oh, I've got to sit on this objective all bloody game. Not here, though. You keep going forward. You keep smashing people. So into the enhancements. First up, Demon Weapon of Nurgle. It goes on any model, and the model scores critical hits on 5+ for melee attacks. So you put this on a Demon Prince, it'll affect both the strike and the sweep. They'll crit on 5s, so you get lethals on 5s. Really nice. It's the cheapest enhancement. It's super solid. Crit 5 is just a great thing to have. We all know this from Biologist Putrefier. And when you actually look at the maths on it, if you have a lot of Contagion leading a squad, he now crits 5s on both sustained and lethal. That's really good. It actually has higher potential damage than the more expensive Furnace of Plagues enhancement, which we'll look at in a second. However, this is provided you roll 5-ups. We've all had it where we've had 5 attacks, we roll them, and we just get a bunch of 2s and 3s. At that point, you basically had no enhancement. But we've also had the turn where you roll 4 out of 5 5s and 6s, and now your Lord of Contagion has gone from 5 attacks to 9 attacks. That's crazy, and obviously 4 of them are straight up lethal. So there's a bit more of a variance on this enhancement, but for how cheap it is, this is a great, I've got a few points left in my list, chuck it on a character, just chuck it on anything. Like, it's a great little enhancement. Crit 5s really helps you against high toughness, or T12, crit lethal 5s, great. Smashing into monsters and vehicles, crit 5s. Even a Plague Caster with his little D3 damage staff, crit 5s, I'm just going to bonk that tank, okay, why not? Now, the only thing is debatable on is the Lord of Poxes, because the Lord of Poxes obviously has Dev Wounds built in, and if you get a lethal hit, you can't roll for Dev Wounds, because you don't roll a wound roll, you've automatically wounded, and it does not count as Dev. So, it's still good on him, because it means you're going to get more lethals, which helps you swing into, like, T10 plus targets. But at the same time, you do deny yourself any chance of getting Dev. So maybe just weigh up that one in your head. You can just get crit 5s from a Biologist Putrefier joining him as well. But again, it's a lot cheaper than having to spend points on that character. But it's a really good enhancement for how cheap it is. And you won't be upset with it. If you are at a point in a list where you're choosing between this and the more expensive Furnace of Plagues, but taking this one instead will allow you to upgrade another unit to somewhat better, or get a new unit, then go with this cheaper one instead. The difference in the damage is not that much until it gets to certain profiles, but I will say, like, especially with how expensive we are, boys before toys. We want more units before we put enhancements in, so just bear that in mind, apart from one of them, which we'll get to. So speaking of which, Furnace of Plagues. So this goes in any model again. Add 1 to the strengths and attacks for the bearer's melee weapons. So again, applies to any sweep attacks they have. So if you put it on a Lord of Contagion, both his strike and his sweep will get +1 strength, +1 attack, and he also gains devastating wounds. So Dev Wounds is obviously very good, especially on flat 3 damage weapons. That is where you want Dev Wounds, because flat 3 Dev will just straight kill an elite model, just like that. And even into vehicles, like flat 3 damage just going through with no saves allowed, it's really powerful, really good. The thing that makes this great, though, is the Strength 9 breakpoint it gives to our smashy characters. The Demon Prince goes to Strength 9. Lord of Poxes, Strength 9. Lord of Virulent, Strength 9. Lord of Contagion, Strength 9. That breakpoint is huge, because T9 vehicles now near us goes T8. So now you're wounded on 3s. With Lance, 2s. If you're into a T10 vehicle, you normally goes to T9, but you're Strength 8, you wounded on 5s. With this enhancement, now you wounded them on 4s. And if you've got Lance down to 3s, it just makes it a lot better. 9 is a much better breakpoint to be, and even the Demon Prince likes this, because he's only Strength 8, he can struggle into vehicles. You run into a T10 vehicle, you wounded it on 5s. With this on, you'll wound it on 4s, which is a lot better, a lot nicer. Plus, you're also going to get an extra attack, so he's going to have 8 attacks on that Demon Prince, or 6 in a Lord of Contagion. And the Dev Wounds also help you push through damage again, which again is really nice. Obviously, you don't get double Dev Wounds on a Lord of Poxes, there's no such thing, so it's a bit wasted on him, so probably wouldn't recommend it on him. But even then, +1 attack, +1 strength is pretty decent to have. So it's a good increase. Like, the difference between this and Demon Weapon of Nurgle, the one we just looked at, is this one is more consistent. There is no requirement to roll 5-ups. You just will always have, I mean, there's a requirement to roll for dev wounds, but you will always have +1 strength, +1 attack. Baseline, flat out, your guy is making an extra attack and an extra strength every single time he swings. That is very good, very reliable, just knowing you're going to have the extra attack. So if you're the kind of person that prefers consistency, Furnace of Plagues might be better for you over Demon Weapon of Nurgle, but again, it is more expensive, but you'd also get dev wounds, which is nice. And if you just want to save points, or maybe you're a gambling man and you want to swing for the stars, maybe consider Demon Weapon of Nurgle instead. But these are both fantastic upgrades for anyone that wants to deal a lot of damage up close. Arch Contaminate. God, every enhancement in this detachment is so fucking good. They're all amazing. So this goes in any model again. While the bearer's unit is within range of an objective you control, reroll all wounds, shooting, and melee. Why the fuck not? So obviously this is the only enhancement in here that benefits the entire unit. So if your character's leading 10 Plague Marines, now all 10 Plague Marines will reroll all wounds in melee and shooting if you're on an objective you control. It's really good. Because what this means is it's really good on a Plague Marine unit. Their natural high OC allows them to much more likely control the objective if they're attacking onto an objective. Death Shroud being only 1 OC each and a 3-man with a character is 4 OC. A lot of the times you're not actually going to flip the objective until after you've killed the unit, so it's not actually that great on them. Where it is good, like I said, is on Plague Marines. A lot of Poxes and 5 Plague Marines with this enhancement will pretty much clear anything off an objective, especially if you go full melee weapons, because you can run in with the equivalent of 15 Power Fist attacks that are going to reroll all wounds with lethal hits, and then you've still got 8 Bubotic Weapon attacks to follow that up, and you can smash something off a point pretty damn easily for not super expensive. So that will kill an objective quite easily and manage to flip it. Now, obviously, you can use this on big squads of 10. You can like disembark out a Rhino, step onto an objective. You now control it because you're OC. You can even have another unit come along and help, like a bloat drone. You need some more OC on it. And as long as a single model is on that objective that you control, the entire unit gets the full rerolls. So you can just even string back a guy to one objective you control, your natural, fire away with full wound rerolls. Why not? It's really, really, really good. Also, Blightlords really like this. Blightlord's biggest problem is the melee output. It's not terrible, it's pretty good, don't get me wrong, but against high toughness targets, that strength 5 can actually hurt. A lot of the times you're going to be wounded on 5s against vehicles. That's not great, but 5s with full rerolls actually is equivalent to somewhere between 4s and 3s to wound on mathematically. That's a lot better. That is a lot better. So you have obviously lethal hits, so you can get your lethal hits, and then you have full rerolls to wound, and they can come in a big unit of 10 plus a character, so there's a good chance they actually can out-OC an objective, unlike the Death Shroud, so they actually might get some use out of it. So it's really nice to have, and also means if you take a lot of contagion in that squad, now you're going to have +1 to wound from Lance as well, you're going to have lethal sustained, Lance, and then you get to full reroll the wounds as well. Now you're wounding vehicles on 4s with full rerolls, which is equivalent to nearly being like 2s to wound, which is really fucking good. Like, it's just over, it's between 3s and 2s to wound on maths, so that's really, really good. So, great. Again, another fantastic enhancement. These are like S tier, S tier, S tier, S tier. Such a good enhancement, sweet. But this one, like I said, if you want to make a super powerful squad, go for it. The only bad thing about this one is the wound rerolls can be getting from different places. Like Rhinos give full wound rerolls in shooting. You can get full rerolls in shooting for a command point in this detachment. So it's better for the melee aspect because there's nothing else in this detachment that really buffs melee. So just bear that in mind, but it is a really, really good enhancement. So then we've got Revolting Regeneration. So this is an enhancement that gives the bearer a 5-up Feel No Pain. I don't need to say any more. That is just good. 5-up Feel No Pain can go on a Demon Prince. Now you have a Toughness 12, 10 wounds, 2-up save, 4-up invulnerable, 5-up Feel No Pain. That is the defensive profile of Mortarion, -6 wounds, but you also have Lone Up. What an absolute pain in the ass to kill for that model. And as you'll see later on, there's tools to keep him alive even longer. So that guy is an absolute mid-board menace. He can just hang around some Terminators or some Plague Marines in the middle, be an absolute pain in the ass while giving out stratagem support and giving out cover and just smacking anything that comes close. Really great upgrade on him. but it's also just a great upgrade on anything. It's an all-around great durability increase. Feel No Pain is a great rule, being able to put it on important characters. Obviously, the tougher the character is natively, the better, hence why the Demon Prince really likes it. But you can use it on your Terminator characters as well, which is, again, just as good a use. Like, even a lot of Poxes in a 5-man squad, now, like, that's a pain in the ass to kill. He's got a 4-up invulnerable, he's got 5 wounds, now he's got a 5-up Feel No Pain as well. You don't want to overcommit to kill it, it's only 5 characters, 5 Plague Marines and a character. Like, oh, that's an awful thing to, like, just, it's awkward to approach. But again, my recommendation is obviously going to be slap this bad boy on Demon Prince, go to town. So into the stratagems. Putrid Detonation. Oh, it's so fun. I'm so glad it's back. Putrid Detonation is very simple. In any phase, when a vehicle or a monster is destroyed from your army, do not roll for deadly demise. You just automatically explode. And any unit that gets hit by the explosion not only takes the mortal wounds, but is also afflicted until your next turn. This is really just funny. You just get to final farewell someone as a literally a final fuck you on the way out. You get to just explode. And you can literally have a Rhino on 1 wound, suicide charge into an enemy melee squad, auto explode, potentially tag 2 units and just deal 2d3 mortal wounds. Like, you were going to die anyway, might as well go out in your own turn and take out a Sand Guard on the way. Like, it's pretty good. And it's just one of those to have in the back pocket. Every time a vehicle dies, just look around, just be like, am I surrounded by enemies? And again, if you manage to get bloat drones or something into your opponent's back lines, that's going to be really annoying. And don't forget, our small demon engines used to have Deadly Demise 1. They're now Deadly Demise D3, so they explode for more. And also, let's not forget, this can go on monsters. Demon Prince can explode. And Mortarion, with his D6 explosion, can auto-explode. Land Raiders, D6 auto-explosion. Get aggressive, throw it in the face, auto-explode it. And if you want to really meme on someone and just make their day super bad, if Mortarion dies in melee, he can use his ability to 2-up fight on death, and then when he's actually removed, you auto-explode him for an extra d6 mortal wounds, and that's a super final fuck you. It's really cool, and obviously don't forget, it does put contagion on units that got afflicted, so if they sequence wrong, kill the Rhino that's in front of them that had -1 to hit aura, for example, you auto-explode it, tag a bunch of units, they're all now still in -1 to hit, even though the Rhino's no longer there, so it's really good for screwing over your opponent, even after they've got rid of the unit that was putting them in contagion. So, really good stratagem. Keep it in the back pocket. It's a tool to use. You're not going to use it every game, but when there's an enemy character that's on 1 wound and just killed your tank, just blow him up and take him with you. Why not? Okay, Leech Spore Eruption. I apologise if you can hear my neighbours. They have decided to do some garden work in the middle of recording. Thank you very much. So, Leech Spore Eruption, 1 command point. So, in the command phase, you pick a model from your army that is missing wounds, and then pick an enemy unit within 3 inches of it. You roll dice equal to the amount of wounds you're missing, so if you have a 1 health Demon Prince, you're going to roll 9 dice. Every single 5-up you roll, you will deal 1 mortal wound to the enemy unit, and you will heal 1 wound to a maximum of 6. This is very good, because units that are hard to kill are now even harder to kill, because they can heal, and you're not just healing, you're potentially dealing some mortals as well. Let's also not forget, this is in the command phase before Battle Shock. So if you have a 4 health Demon Prince in combat, for example, and you are thinking of Insane Bravery and auto pass morale because you need to, don't bother. Just use this instead, because odds are you'll get 1 wound back. You'll deal a mortal wound at least 1. Average says you deal like 2 if you're missing 6 wounds. So you'll heal for 2, deal 2 mortals, and then, because you're now over half health, you won't have to take a Battle Shock test. So it's actually better than Insane Bravery. So don't forget that, which is really cool. And obviously, the more durable the unit this is used on is also the better, because every wound you heal on, like the Demon Prince with his Feel No Pain, for example, is now another wound that can be saved on a Feel No Pain again. It's really good on Mortarion. It's really good on Demon Prince with Feel No Pain. It's just good on your tanks in general. Every time you make your army harder to kill for your opponent is a nightmare. Like, leaving a 1 wound model is such a funny conundrum for your opponent, because if they kill it, I'll auto-explode it. If you don't kill it, I'll start draining you and healing. You don't win, I win. The house always wins. It's really good, so look out for opportunities with this one. Disgustingly Resilient. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. Great name, great name. So Disgustingly Resilient, it's 2 command points, so it's a little more expensive, this one. Shooting or the fight phase, one of your units until the end of the phase, subtract 1 from the damage of every single attack they take by 1 until the end of the phase. This is good. This is real good. There is a huge amount of damage 2 and damage 3 in the game. Damage 3 is obviously looking to kill your elites, your blight lords, stuff like that, and damage 2 to kill your marines. Now, pressing this button on demand just halves damage 2 to damage 1. So now, what would be needed to kill 10 Plague Marines, they need to double the amount of damage, because it's only going to do 1 damage. And again, damage 3 into Blight Lords, now it takes 2 fail saves to kill every single one, because they only take 2 now. And if it's Death Shroud against damage 2, normally every 2 would kill 1. Now it's 4 to kill 1. So have fun with that one, kids. It's really good. And it just makes your opponent's targeting priority a nightmare. Just knowing that you can -1 damage. What they've normally brought, a Predator Destructor, for example. This Predator Destructor is going to shoot at your Terminators. That auto cannon is going to rip them apart, kill a bunch of them. Nope, not anymore, it ain't. Have fun. Like, you're barely going to kill, like, 1, if that, maybe 2, if you're lucky. Like, it's really, really good, this strat. When the profiles match up, again, lots of melee in the game is damage 2, infantry melee. Like, they charge in into your custodes, for example, they charge in with a lot of damage 2. They want to do a lot of damage to you, and suddenly you just go, yeah, here's a 50% damage reduction. Bye-bye. It's really, really good. And obviously, this has a great synergy with Demon Princes. Again, Demon Princes are pretty much should be in your list for this attachment. Oop, almost threw my phone, sorry. Reducing the cost to 1 command point is incredible. 1 command point for this is so much more easy to stomach than 2 command points. And if you've got a Tallyman as well, you get an extra CP from him. You're getting the cost reduction from the Demon Prince. You're going to be able to use this stratagem a lot. And like I said, it feels near mandatory to have a Demon Prince because of how powerful this stratagem is. It is fantastic. You're going to use it a lot. Bring a Demon Prince. Overwhelming Generosity, 1 command point. Your shooting phase, pick a character unit from your army, and then select an enemy unit that character can see. Your entire army can now reroll any random shot amounts when targeting that enemy unit. And we have a lot of random shots. Think of all the D6 shot weapons we have, or D3 shot weapons. Blight launchers, Defiler cannon, those new amazing bloat drones, our Havoc launchers, and let's not forget, it's not just blast weapons like that. Flamers are random attack weapons. You want to shoot 7d6 flamers at a unit and make sure it dies? Use this stratagem. Now it's 7d6 shots, rerolling any dice you don't like. Like, that's a lot of shots. It is great for 1 command point. And obviously with a lot of virulence, this gets stupid with blast weapons because you have 3 of your favourite bloaty boys floating around with him. He marks a target with his ability. So now those blast weapons reroll full hit rolls. So all your 3 bloat drones are going to reroll all the hit rolls. Now use this stratagem. Now they're re-rolling not only every single hit roll, but they're also re-rolling the amount of shots they get. So you're not going to get screwed by rolling a 1 on the shots. Super, super good. Absolute fantastic. This is a great stratagem. Again, don't forget the flamer use either. It's so good. It is so good. And then Plague Surge, another 2 command point one again. Really wanting that Demon Prince. So your warlord also has to be alive and on the battlefield for this one. It's going to be Demon Prince. Add 3 inches to the contagion range of every single Death Guard model in your army. It's good. It's real good. Contagion is the most important rule for Death Guard. Like -1 toughness, -1 save, -1 toughness, -1 hit. All those rules are super impactful in the game. Very, very powerful. The most important thing is to make sure we get things in contagion range. Again, your opponent has pre-measured so that your spawn will need a, like a 5 on advance to be able to get them in contagion range. Fuck that. Pop this. Now I need a 2 on the advance. Oh, now you're in contagion. Oh, now here a Death Shroud. Enjoy. Applied to face. You're dead. It's so good. Like, and it can also mean that an opponent can't take angles without putting themselves in contagion. So you're playing -1 to hit. Then they're going to have to come into contagion range. It's just incredible. Like, being able to just on demand, again, you're not going to use it every game, but on demand when you need this, be able to just guarantee someone gets in afflicted range, and then you can drop in Death Shroud, or you can shoot it to death, or your Plague Marines can use full rolls to hit and wound stratagem, or get sustained hits because the Playcaster. It is just so damn good when you need it. And it's great with those fast skirmish units. Spawn, love this. Scout 6, move 8, plus advance, and if you really want, you can have a turn 1, 6-inch contagion range. And then, again, PBCs even love this, because now you can shoot PBCs a lot easier and get, those extra splash models on there from the indirects, because those fast-moving units can get stuff into contagion a lot earlier. It's a great toolbox stratagem. You're not going to use it every game. You're probably not going to need it in melee matchups, but when someone is just out of reach, and it's really important you get that 6-inch deep strike, or you get to use all your strats to kill that unit, then you're going to be glad you've got this in your back pocket. And Creeping Blight. This one is a bit daft. 1 command point, your shooting phase, pick an infantry unit from your army. Whenever that unit shoots at an afflicted unit, reroll all hits and wounds. Okay. You take this with a Plaguecaster and a Biologist Putrefier and a 10-man, and now you have lethal sustained crit 5s with full rerolls to hit and wound. And with lethal crit 5s, you will reroll everything. I don't care if you rolled a 3 and a 4 and they have already hit, reroll it, because the chance of you getting lethal sustained is way worth the reroll, because you will double your shots. 6 plasma shots, 2d3 blight launch shots plus anything from blast, 2d6 sprayers plus any of your character weapons, getting all of these buffs and then full rerolls to hit and wound. It is crazy. You will drop units so damn fast. And it's not just Plague Marines that can use this. Blight Lords can use this with all their guns. Full rerolls to hit and wound with Strength 5, potentially AP2, potentially AP3 if you've brought a Predator along. Bolters will rinse infantry. It will murderize them super easily. And then you've got the Blight Launchers, and then you've got the Reaper Oil Cannons, and then you've got the Plague Spewers. It's really good, and it can even be used on Death Shroud, who don't even roll to hit because they're all torrent, because just having full rerolls to wound is great when you need it. It's 1 command point. Like, you drop down, there's a bloody screen that's just appeared or something, it's, reactive moved in the way, you need to make sure it dies, you go, cool, I'm just going to spend a command point. I've got a lot of Contagion in this squad, so my Flamers are just going to wound on 4s with no rerolls. Whereas now, I'm going to spend this command point, pretend I've got a lot of Virulence in there, because I'm going to have full wound rerolls. It's really good. Just, this is such a good stratagem. So powerful, so much damage increase, and the more layered buffs you can give it, you strip cover with a Defiler. Predator gives some extra AP. My Malignant Plaguecaster for the 5+ sustain, the Malignant Plaguecaster plus the Bilo, just 5+ crit, sustained, lethal. You can shoot knights to death. It is so good. Love this stratagem. So, that's all the strats enhancements. What are the strengths of this detachment? Toolbox variety. It has Affliction help with the Plague Surge. It has damage output increase with the crazy rolls, hits and wounds, and shot amount. You've got durability increase, -1 damage is fantastic. You've also got sticky objectives. You have tools for absolutely everything you need. Just go nuts. Like, it's all down to you to use them tools, but you have the tools you need. There is no build. Anything can work in this. You can bring Predators, you can bring Defilers, you can bring a Land Raider and go aggressive, you can bring Bloat Drones, you can bring lots of Plague Marine spam, you can spam Death Shroud. Anything goes in this attachment, and it's why I love it. You can go crazy with builds. But it does definitely reward combined arms. You want some shooting, you want some melee, you want some aggression, you want some tanks. It does reward that combined arms feeling, which is what I like the most in armies, because I mean, I'm playing an army game. I want to feel like I'm an army. I want some transports. I want some tanks. I want some Terminators. I want some troops. I want some chaff. It really rewards that playstyle, and I really like it. And there's so many goddamn rerolls. You get shooting phase rerolls for full hit and wound. You can reroll the amount of shots you get. You get the Lord of Virulence effect in here. You then bring Rhinos along in here. You can reroll, like, pretty much goddamn everything you need to in this detachment. Like, there is no more blaming the dice. You are sat there going, oh, my Blight Lords always suck in melee. Cool, take Arch Contaminator. Now attack an objective with 4 rerolls to wound. Like, if you have cursed dice, this detachment brings the most rerolls you can possibly get. So play this detachment, because if you like rerolls, it's going to help you out. And obviously another strength is late game board control. Late game, everyone's running on fumes. You've killed a bunch of their shit. They've killed a bunch of your stuff. Everyone's running out of stuff. You can leave objectives, you sticky them, you can keep the pressure up, you can keep attacking, you don't have to hold back a unit like your opponent does. And that's going to enable you that in those turns 4 and 5, you're managing to use every single resource you have to keep your opponent's score low, where they're having to use all of their resources to just hang on to their points. And that is incredibly powerful in the late game, because it means, basically, your opponent, if you're on equal terms, you have such an advantage, because you can just focus all your effort on taking your opponent's final bits and pieces away from them, whereas they just can't do the same to you because they can't leave their objective. So it's really good. So what are some weaknesses? There is no melee output increase here apart from Arch Contaminator, so it's a bit more reliant on shooting output compared to like Champions of Contagion. But again, this isn't too bad because most of our melee profiles are solid baseline anyway, especially when you can give them support from like Biologist Putrefier, Malignant Plaguecaster, Lords of Contagion. that kind of helps them out anyway. Our melee hits pretty damn hard, so it's, as much as it's a weakness, it's not, I wouldn't really consider it a problem, if you get what I mean. Command points, however, are a problem. There is two command point stratagems in here, which are expensive, and you're going to use a lot of strats. So the Talisman and the Demon Prince almost feel mandatory. They're not questionable. They are just in your list. Like, at least the Demon Prince feels so mandatory with the 5-up Feel No Pain. Like, I can't make a list without him at the moment because I just love it so much. Talisman, you can take a leave, but he's pretty damn good as well. And obviously, it's a jack of all trades, master of none. This detachment, it doesn't skew in one way. It doesn't excel immensely at one thing or the other. It's more dependent on you as a player, playing it, getting the reps in, building the right list for your playstyle, bringing the units that you think you need for your local meta, and just playing it properly. There's no free wins. You don't run into a matchup where, like, a Knights player is running into the guy with one las cannon in his army. Like, the guy has no chance to just get a free win, cool. Or, you know, playing Shamble at Vectorium, you got 120 Poxwalkers, and your opponent's got, like, I don't know, 3 big melee Knights. It's like, cool, you're just going to be trapped forever and never go anywhere. Like, have fun. Like, there is no free wins. It is properly down to you to use the tools at your disposal, use the variety of assets you can bring in this army, get the most out of it, and earn those wins. You're literally going to earn those wins. But that is not necessarily a weakness, because it will also make you improve as a player. And quickly, added to this one, special treat, because it's my favourite detachment, and it is the one I'm working on the most. And don't worry, we're going to have a sample list video for every single detachment with multiple sample lists. But I see you guys in the comments, you've been asking to put a list in, so I'll try and appease you, the community, because again, we want to make this for you guys. So this one's going to have a sample list. This is my list that I've been working with recently. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I still think there's plenty of room for adaptation and improvement, but let's go through it. So we've got a lot of Contagion rocking the Furnace of Plagues, big smash guy. He's going to be joining the squad of 3 Death Shroud. They're going to be my Deep Strike, go solve a problem unit. I've got my Demon Prince with the 5-up Feel No Pain, giving out those 3 stratagems, for example, making him -1 damage, 1 CP, really good. He's going to play around the mid board. Lord of Virulence is going to be joining the big 6-man Death Shroud. That's going to start on the board. They're basically going to be the Demon Prince's bodyguard and absolutely bully the middle point. And basically, at a certain point, my opponent's going to have to commit something, and then they're going to go in and engage that with -1 damage. Then we've got a Malignant Plaguecaster and a Biologist Putrefier attached to a big squad of 10 Plague Marines, rocking 3 Plasma Guns, 2 Blight Launchers, a Spewer, 4 Heavy Plague Weapons, and a Power Fist on the Sergeant. This is going to be riding around in a Rhino. They're the ones going to be using the reroll all hits and wounds stratagem with the shooting, with the crit and these crit 5s, lethal sustained against afflicted units, so they're just going to absolutely obliterate anything they look at. It's really nice, and obviously the Rhino can help do actions and stuff. Then we've got a scoring package. We've got a squad of Spawn and 3 squads of Poxwalkers in here, so a bit of infiltrate play. And they Spawn have obviously Scout, which can get a potential sticky turn 1 on Search and Destroy if I don't want to overexpose infiltrating units. I've obviously got an infiltrating unit that can hold home. One of them could easily be swapped out for a Talisman and get yourself 20 extra points. There's tons of play in this list to mess stuff around. And then you've got a shooting package of 3 heavy Blight Launcher Bloat Drones. A lot of Virulence is going to be doing the combo with them to give them 4 rerolls to hit and reroll shot amounts. They are nasty little things. They're going to be putting a lot of fire down range. And then backing up, I've got 2 Mythic Blight Haulers. I like to put 1 or maybe 2 in these in reserve. They're just, opponents don't like knowing there's a multi-metal lingering in reserves that can, you know, pop out of a corner and shoot a tank. But these can obviously be replaced if you're more of an aggressive player. These can be replaced for, like, Flesh Mower Drones to pressure opponents natural. And you can also, there's plenty of room to play around this. You can swap out the 6 Death Shroud into 2 3-mans, then you've got an extra 20 points there. You could drop a Poxwalker unit, now you can have 2 units of Chaos Spawn with the extra 20 points on the Poxwalkers. There's loads of room to play around with. You can even drop it down to a 3-man Death Shroud, drop a Poxwalker unit down to a Talisman, swap the Furnace of Plagues, Demon Weapon of Nurgle, and then you can fit a Defiler in, for example. There's tons of ways to take this list, but I like this as a really nice starting point. I've been playing it, I've been having a blast with it, and I've been doing pretty damn well with it, and I'll be taking this, probably try and get to an RTT soon with it, and I'm hoping to keep practicing it. I do not think this is the list by any means, but if you're looking for like a solid staple start to a list, this is one I could recommend to you guys. So just a quick one to throw in there. Again, we'll have a proper list video where we break it down a bit more interesting, how to deploy it, etc. But just a sample list for you guys to look at, because I know you've been asking in the comments, and here at DRP, we do genuinely listen to the community, and this is because of that. So thank you for the suggestions. But everyone, for now, Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. This is Virulent Vectorium. It is my favorite detachment. It is so fucking cool. It is so fun to play, and it is powerful. So if you are interested in a toolbox playstyle with almost every unit being viable, if you're new to the army, start here because everything's viable. You can find what units you like, what units you don't like. I'm honest, I'm biased. This is my favorite detachment. It's very clear, probably my excitement for this video. I am biased, but it is very good. So bear that in mind. So thank you everyone for watching for now. Go check out our friends over at Vanguard Tactics. Their masterclass is now live if you want to watch that and listen to that and pick it up. Again, link in the description. If you are in the UK and you want to pick up some models, check out our friends at Element Games. Again, affiliate link in the description. Gives us a bit of kickback. Very nice. And check out our friends at Saltire Games as well. They make some gaming aids. They are working on upgrading them to fit all the new mechanics onto them. So maybe like give it like a week or two and then check again. But obviously, thank you as well to our YouTube members. You guys are amazing. Support. It's been insane. We've got over 1,000 subscribers in like 5 days, which is insane. So I'm hoping you guys are enjoying the content. That's a kind of a sign to me that you are. So yay, happy to know. And yeah, if you are members, you mean the world to us. Thank you so much, guys. But even if you are not a member, thank you, the listener, the watcher, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. And before I go, I'm gonna have one little extra slide because I've been forgetting to put them in. So don't forget, a win for Death Guard is a win for Kirby. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Catch you all on the next episode. Stay rotten. See you later. Bye-bye.